People often think to maintain muscle, you need to work out hard, eat a lot of protein, or take supplements. That's true, but it's not the whole picture. There's something few people pay attention to. Muscles don't just need to be built up, they also need to be preserved. It's like building a house without a strong foundation. Sooner or later, it will crack and crumble. The body is the same. Even if you eat well and exercise regularly, if your internal environment is constantly inflamed, tired, and prone to inflammation, your muscles will slip away little by little without warning. Maintaining muscle after 60 isn't about doing more. Sometimes it's just about doing things in the right place. And one of those right places starts in the kitchen. It's where you'll find a spice that science is now recognizing as a reliable aid in calming chronic inflammation, the root cause of your body's gradual loss of strength. That spice is turmeric. For a long time, we've only used it to color our food, but we've never truly used it to preserve our bodies. In this video, we'll explore why it becomes harder to maintain muscle as you age, how a seemingly ordinary spice, when used correctly, can help soothe internal inflammation, and how it can prevent your body from silently losing muscle as it used to. This isn't about complex remedies or expensive treatments. It's about small changes you can start right in your kitchen, a little bit each day, to reclaim your strength, your independence, and your faith in your own body. When their strength wanes, many people's first reaction is to blame themselves. They think it's because they don't exercise enough, don't eat enough nutrients, or simply, it's just old age. We're used to thinking that getting weak as you age is inevitable, that tired limbs or shaky hands are just part of the deal. But have you ever met someone over 70 who is still agile, can carry heavy bags, and walks regularly every day without needing an early rest? If so, you have to ask yourself, why can they do it and I can't? The truth is, weakening with age isn't mandatory. And muscle loss, what makes your legs wobbly and your hands less steady, doesn't always come from lack of exercise or insufficient nutrition. Many people still walk regularly, eat consistent meals, and drink supplements, yet they still feel themselves gradually weakening without knowing why. That's because something is silently happening inside the body, something few people know about, and it's even very difficult to feel. Muscles, like everything else in the body, need a calm environment to thrive. When you're young, your body can repair quickly and rebuild easily. But as you age, a kind of smoldering fire begins to appear in the body. It doesn't cause fever or obvious pain, but it makes everything work less efficiently, especially the ability to retain muscle mass. Science calls this process low-grade chronic inflammation, a state where the body is constantly under mild but prolonged stress, like living in a house where you always hear a faint noise in the walls, not obvious, but enough to keep you from resting soundly. When this inflammatory response persists, the body gradually loses its ability to recover. Muscles are no longer supported as they once were. Muscle building after exercise slows down or even stops altogether. And gradually, even if you eat well and exercise, your muscle mass will silently decline, little by little, without you even realizing it. That's why older adults can weaken even when they do everything right. It's not due to a lack of willpower, it's because inside them, the conditions for muscle preservation are no longer sufficient. If you view the body as a house, muscles are the main walls. Eating well and exercising are like plastering and renovating. But if the foundation underneath, meaning the internal environment of the body, is cracking due to inflammation, then no matter how beautiful the walls are, they won't be able to stand firm. And from this point, a question arises. If we can't clearly see inflammation, can't feel it, and don't know if it's happening, then how can we intervene? The answer lies in our lifestyle and in the seemingly smallest things in our kitchen. There are things we thought were just for flavoring food, but it turns out they can help soothe that smoldering inflammation. Turmeric is one such example. And from here, the story is no longer eating turmeric is good for your health, but rather using turmeric correctly can be the first step in helping your body preserve itself. If you've heard that turmeric is good for your health, that's correct. But what not everyone knows is turmeric isn't just good for your stomach or digestion. It can also help protect your muscles, joints, and the mobility of older adults, not by making the body instantly stronger, nor by building muscle like bodybuilding supplements, but by a more silent path, calming those underlying reactions that cause the body to weaken little by little each day. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin. The name might sound unfamiliar, but it's actually what gives turmeric its distinctive yellow color. And the interesting thing is, curcumin has been recognized by international health organizations like the World Health Organization, WHO, as a natural compound that can help reduce inflammation, act as an antioxidant, and is safe when used correctly. Why is this important? Because as we discussed earlier, one of the reasons older adults tend to lose muscle is because the body falls into a state of chronic inflammation, meaning it's constantly running a low-grade fever internally without obvious symptoms, but enough to cause muscles to gradually weaken over time. Curcumin doesn't cure chronic diseases, but it can help to calm that underlying fatigue a little bit each day. It's like opening a window to let fresh air into a room that's been closed for too long. It creates the conditions for the body to self-recover. This isn't just hearsay. Many studies on older adults have shown that when turmeric is used correctly, especially in the form of refined curcumin extract, the body can experience clear positive changes. In a 12-week study, people aged 65 and older used curcumin daily. The results showed stronger hand grip, faster walking, and a significant decrease in an important blood marker, which indicates inflammation levels. In another study, older adults who regularly used curcumin also reported better mobility, easier stair climbing, and maintained muscle mass, instead of experiencing the decline seen in the group that didn't use it. These numbers might not impress younger people, but for older adults, standing up a little easier, walking a little more steadily, is enough to make a huge difference in daily life and independence. However, there's one point that many people often overlook. Turmeric only works when used correctly. If you just sprinkle a little turmeric powder on your food for color, then cook it too thoroughly, or drink turmeric diluted in hot water, your body won't absorb much. Curcumin isn't easily absorbed into the bloodstream. And this is why the way you use turmeric, the preparation method, is just as important as the turmeric root itself. And the best part is, it's not unfamiliar. It's right in your own kitchen. There's just one question left. How do you use it correctly? We'll answer that in the next section. Applying turmeric at home to preserve muscle in old age, starting right from your kitchen. There's a very familiar moment for many older Americans, standing in the kitchen, opening the supplement cabinet, looking at rows of curcumin, turmeric, ginger extract bottles, and then asking themselves, which one should I use? Is it really necessary? And if I don't use pills, is there another way? The truth is, not everyone is ready to swallow another pill every day. Not everyone enjoys the feeling of taking supplements with a glass of cold water every morning. And certainly, not everyone fully trusts the claims written on the labels. But that doesn't mean we should miss out on the opportunity to take care of our bodies. On the contrary, many people over 60 want to be more proactive than ever, not with anything expensive, but with choices that are simple, natural, safe, and familiar. And if you're looking for such a starting point, it's not the pharmacy, not the clinic, and not a prescription, it's your kitchen. We've explored why muscle weakens with age. It's not just about eating less or being less active. It's because there's a smoldering fire inside the body that's gradually burning away its ability to recover. We've also seen how turmeric, with its curcumin component, can help soothe that fire. And the good news is, you don't need to be a chef, you don't need expensive products, and you don't need to drastically change your diet. You just need to start with what you're already doing every day. Preparing breakfast, adding a little spice when cooking chicken soup, mixing a light drink before lunchtime. All these familiar things, if adjusted a little, combined correctly, can absolutely become the simplest way for your body to retain its own strength. So, this section will focus on the most practical aspect, how to make turmeric truly beneficial for elderly muscle health when you use it in your own kitchen. We won't talk about complex regimens, we won't talk about complicated supplements, we won't talk about scholarly nutritional knowledge. We'll just talk about how to cook, how to combine, familiar dishes you can add turmeric to without it tasting too much, and how to maintain it naturally, gently, without pressure. After that, we'll spend a short section discussing special cases if you're on medication, if you're a strict vegetarian, or if you don't tolerate turmeric. But first and foremost, let's put turmeric back in its rightful place. Not a pill, not something mystical, but a very close part of your meal, of your health, and of your daily independence. Curcumin is not easily absorbed, but it can be activated right in your kitchen. Turmeric is good, that's clear. But there's one thing few people talk about. Curcumin, the most valuable active compound in turmeric, is very difficult to absorb if you don't know how to use it. In other words, if you just sprinkle a little turmeric powder on eggs or add a pinch to a pot of soup and boil it for hours, most of the curcumin might have evaporated, been destroyed, or passed through your digestive system without contributing anything to your body. And this is why many older Americans, despite eating turmeric regularly, don't see any clear improvements. It's not because their bodies aren't responding, it's because curcumin isn't activated correctly. But the good news is, you don't need complex knowledge nor special equipment to do it. In a widely cited study in Planta Medica, 1998, scientists discovered that when curcumin is combined with a small amount of piperine, a substance found in black pepper, the absorption of curcumin into the bloodstream increases by more than 20 times. No need to remember the name piperine. Just remember this: if you use turmeric, add a little black pepper. Turmeric and black pepper are a great complementary duo, and you don't need too much. Just 1/8 teaspoon of ground pepper for every teaspoon of turmeric is enough. You can sprinkle pepper directly on turmeric scrambled eggs, or add pepper to chicken soup, or even just a warm glass of turmeric milk in the evening. This method won't make the food too spicy, but it helps turmeric work much more effectively. Additionally, curcumin is fat-soluble, not water-soluble. This means if you drink turmeric mixed with water, the absorption efficiency is very low, but if turmeric is used with a little healthy fat, the body will open the door to absorb curcumin into the bloodstream faster. You don't need to eat a lot of oil. Just 1 teaspoon of olive oil, coconut oil, or an egg yolk is enough to help curcumin stick to cell membranes and be absorbed more easily. Therefore, prioritize cooking turmeric with dishes that contain natural fats. For example, turmeric scrambled eggs with olive oil, roasted vegetables sprinkled with turmeric and olive oil, chicken soup cooked with turmeric and bone marrow, smoothies with nut butter or nut milk plus turmeric plus pepper. You don't need to completely change your diet. Just incorporate turmeric into familiar dishes and add a little fat and black pepper. You've created the optimal conditions for curcumin to work effectively. A common mistake is cooking turmeric for too long. If turmeric is boiled for dozens of minutes in water, as in soups or stews, many active compounds will be destroyed. Therefore, add turmeric during the later stages of cooking, or season it directly into the dish after it's already cooked. You can sprinkle turmeric into scrambled eggs after they're softly cooked. Add turmeric to your morning oatmeal after you've scooped it into a bowl. Season soup with turmeric 5 minutes before turning off the heat. This method preserves a mild, non-pungent flavor and retains the active compounds best. So, are there rules for timing during the day, and how often should you use it? There are no fixed rules, but most experts agree that a small amount daily, used correctly, is much better than using a large amount once. For people over 60, you don't need to force yourself to eat turmeric every day. Start with 2 to 4 times a week. Spread evenly across the meals you find easiest to maintain. For example, a breakfast with turmeric scrambled eggs, a lunch with chicken soup, or a sandwich with turmeric-infused mayonnaise, a glass of golden milk before bed on 2 to 3 evenings a week. The most important thing isn't a very high dose, but rather consistent maintenance, so your body gets used to the gentle support that turmeric provides. Turmeric itself isn't a miracle cure-all, but if you understand how to get it into your body correctly, if you help it find a vehicle to reach the right places with a little oil, a pinch of pepper, and the right cooking method, then you've transformed turmeric from just a decorative yellow color into a silent partner helping your body recover. And it all starts not with high-level medical knowledge, but with the daily habits in the kitchen you step into every morning. After understanding how to help your body absorb turmeric better, the next question is, what dish should I start with? Actually, older adults in the US don't need to completely change their diet to use turmeric. Turmeric is a very versatile spice. It doesn't require fancy cooking skills, special tools, or forcing you to give up your favorite foods. You just need to know how to add turmeric to the dishes already in your daily routine, doing it gently and without pressure. Below are some dishes and usage methods suitable for older Americans, easy to prepare, easy to eat, and sustainable long term. 1. Scrambled eggs with turmeric and black pepper. This is one of the simplest, yet very effective dishes. Ingredients: 2 eggs, 1/2 teaspoon turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, 1 teaspoon olive oil or unsalted butter. Instructions: beat the eggs with turmeric and black pepper. Pour into a hot pan with the oil, stirring until softly cooked. You can serve it with toast or steamed vegetables. Why it's effective. Eggs contain natural fats which help absorb curcumin. Adding black pepper increases absorption significantly. This is an easy-to-eat dish, suitable for both breakfast and dinner. 2. Chicken turmeric soup, American style. This traditional winter dish is a great choice to add turmeric without it tasting strange. Ingredients: chicken breast or shredded chicken carrots, onions, celery, 1 teaspoon turmeric powder, black pepper, salt, chicken broth, a little olive oil or unsalted butter. Instructions: cook the chicken and vegetables in the broth. Add turmeric and pepper 5 minutes before the end of cooking. You can serve it with bread or brown rice. Note: do not add turmeric at the beginning of cooking, as high temperatures will reduce its active compounds. Season it towards the end, when the dish is almost done, to maintain a mild flavor and maximum effectiveness. 3rd, turmeric oatmeal, morning oatmeal. Oatmeal is already very popular with older adults in the US. Now you can turn it into a muscle-supporting dish. Instructions: cook oatmeal as usual, with nut milk or water. When you turn off the heat, add 1/3 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of pepper, and a little honey or fresh fruit. You can also add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, walnuts, or nut butter for healthy fats. Tip: this can be used for a light breakfast or an afternoon snack, especially suitable for vegetarians. You can also try making salads with turmeric powder or warm turmeric milk. Here are a few extra tips to help you maintain this habit. If you can't eat turmeric every day, choose 3 to 4 days a week and tie it to breakfast or dinner. That's enough. Store turmeric in a sealed glass jar in a cool, dark place, away from light, to preserve its aroma and active compounds better. If the turmeric smell is too strong, start with a small amount, just 1/4 teaspoon, and gradually increase. You can ask family members to prepare batches of turmeric-infused sauces, turmeric butter, or turmeric marinated chicken. Store them in the fridge for 3 to 4 days. You don't need a perfect menu. You just need a few gentle touch points, the right dishes, the right way, repeated consistently enough for your body to adjust itself. And in that journey, turmeric isn't the main character, but it's a silent companion, helping you hold on to the healthiest part of yourself. Turmeric is a great choice, but it's not suitable for everyone to use in the exact same way. So, if you fall into one of the groups below, a slight adjustment is necessary. This isn't about giving up, but about using it more intelligently, safely, and in a way that suits your body. 1. If you are taking medications, especially blood thinners, curcumin and turmeric can subtly affect blood clotting, especially at high doses. Therefore, if you are taking medications like warfarin, Coumadin, high-dose aspirin, or other anticoagulants, you should consult your doctor before starting regular turmeric use. This is especially important if you plan to use curcumin extract supplements. If you only use turmeric in food, low dose a few times a week, the risk is almost negligible. However, you should still inform your doctor during your routine checkups. Avoid taking turmeric at the same time as your medication, especially on an empty stomach. It's best to take turmeric with a meal and at least 1 to 2 hours apart from your medications. 2. If you are vegetarian or vegan, the good news is, turmeric is perfectly suitable for vegetarians. However, for curcumin to be effective, you still need a source of healthy fats and black pepper. Good vegetarian fats to use: coconut oil, walnut oil, nut butters, almond, peanut, cashew, etc., and whole nut milks. Suggested suitable dishes: golden milk with oat milk, turmeric, pepper, and maple syrup. Oatmeal mixed with turmeric and nut butter. Salad dressing with turmeric, olive oil, and lemon juice. Hummus mixed with turmeric plus black pepper. Vegan turmeric capsules. If you want to use supplements, choose certified vegan options without animal gelatin. 3. If you don't like or don't tolerate turmeric. Some people may find the smell of turmeric too strong, or their body might react mildly with bloating or warmth. This isn't common, but if it happens, you can reduce the dose to a very small amount, just 1/4 teaspoon per serving, and try again with an easy-to-eat dish like eggs or a smoothie. Use turmeric every other day, not continuously every day. Choose gentler alternative foods with similar anti-inflammatory properties. Ginger, mild anti-inflammatory effect, easy to combine. Cinnamon, use in oatmeal, baked goods. Herbal teas like rooibos, peppermint, chamomile help soothe oxidative reactions. Remember, the important thing isn't to force yourself to use turmeric at all costs, but to find a suitable way to support your body every day in the most comfortable and safe way. 4. If you have severe inflammation or noticeable body weakness. For some older adults, inflammatory symptoms are already more pronounced. Persistent dull muscle pain, prolonged arthritis, slow recovery after falls, diagnosed with sarcopenia, muscle loss, risk or mild arthritis. In such cases, the curcumin dose from regular food might not be enough. At this point, considering a standardized extract supplement may be an option, but keep the following in mind. Key points to remember: choose an improved formulation, prioritizing curcumin phytosome, nanocurcumin, or types combined with piperine, because their bioavailability, absorption capacity, is much higher than ordinary capsules. A common dose can start from 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin per day, divided into 1 to 2 doses, taken with meals to limit digestive irritation. Always consult your doctor if you are taking blood thinners, you have liver or gallbladder issues, diabetes, or are being treated for joint conditions. You have had a reaction to turmeric before. Choose a reputable product with clinical claims, such as brands using formulas that have been studied, e.g. Curiate, Mariva, curcumin C3 complex. If you're not used to taking pills every day, try starting with a low dose, e.g. 250 milligrams per day, for 1 to 2 weeks. Noting your body's reactions, sleep, digestion, level of aches and pains. If suitable, you can continue at a stable dose of 500 to 750 milligrams per day, not necessarily forever, but for specific periods of 8 to 12 weeks. Turmeric pills do not completely replace food, but they can be an essential supportive step, especially when the body needs to be cleaned up from within. When we're young, strength is often measured by big things: how much we can lift, how far we can go, how many tasks we can accomplish in a day. But at a certain age, strength is no longer about breaking limits. It's about preservation, keeping our hands steady when holding a glass of water. We don't need to defeat anyone. We don't need to be the strongest in the room. We don't need to run faster than others. We just need to do one small thing every day to combat the silent weakening that's creeping into our bodies. And that small thing, it doesn't have to come from a doctor's office. It doesn't require expensive exercise equipment. It doesn't require learning to cook unfamiliar dishes. It can start right in the kitchen you step into every morning. A scrambled egg sprinkled with a little turmeric, a lightly golden bowl of oatmeal in the morning, a warm glass of turmeric milk in the evening. Not complicated, not forced, but consistent enough to create change. Turmeric won't make you young again. It won't erase your age, but it can create the conditions for your body to recover, to retain what's most valuable: your independence, your stability, and the feeling that you're still taking good care of yourself. And sometimes that's the most powerful thing we can do at any age. If you find this journey meaningful, start with one small dish today. And if you find this content helpful, please share it with your loved ones, those who are also going through the same journey as you. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you to be stronger each day, not to do big things, but to remain strong within yourself, one step at a time.